Okay, so this is my video for check-in number 3 for dynamics. And since the last check-in, I've probably spent, I'm thinking 12 or 13 hours studying in this course. So since the last check-in, I spent a lot of time reviewing the material in Chapter 11 to get ready for the quiz that we had. And so I was just looking over some of the problems that were in the videos and in the homework, and reviewing the notes that I have to get ready for the Chapter 11 quiz. After that quiz, I moved on to the new material in Chapter 12. So I started by looking through some of the physics review and trying to remind myself of a lot of the material that I learned there and the concepts, and so I can apply what we learn in dynamics and have that background. I also watched all of the videos for Chapter 12 that you have on Canvas. I just barely finished going through all of those videos today, and I actually really liked the videos that were actually in the classroom. I thought that was a really good way of doing it. And so in Chapter 12, we've kind of moved on to kinetics. So Chapter 11 focused more on the kinematic side of the problems, and now in Chapter 12, we've moved on to including the force that causes the acceleration and the velocity. And so it was cool to see that connection and be able to just expand on what we learned in Chapter 11. And so I also spent a lot of time reading the book, the textbook, and it went along with the videos really well and helped me learn the material. So in Chapter 12, like I said, we were talking about the kinetics part, and we started by doing some problems that were more in a straight line and learning the equations that deal with kinetics. One of my favorite parts of the videos from this week was the problem that dealt with the 3 different pulley systems, and we were comparing the different pulley systems to see how the different weights would change our result. And the result from that actually surprised me, the answer that we got. It wasn't what I expected, but it made a lot of sense after we went through the problem and learned how to solve this type of problem. So I thought that was a pretty cool example. I also liked the videos that talked about creating a free body diagram, and that was kind of a review from physics and statics. We'd done free body diagrams before, but the kinetic diagram part of that was new to me. I hadn't done that before, and it was just cool to see how that related back to the equation where force equals mass times acceleration, which after watching the videos I can tell that that's a huge part of the class, and a lot of what we do comes back to that relationship. So in the videos we also talked about angular momentum and went through those. I felt like the problems that dealt with the force under a central force, like in a circle or an orbit, like a satellite orbiting or things like that, those problems were pretty tricky for me. I felt like I was able to follow the videos pretty well, but I'm going to have to spend some time reviewing the equations that come with that and learning how to set up those problems myself. But there were a lot of examples in the videos that I went through, and that was really helpful to have a variety of different examples. But so far I've made it through, I think, about half of the homework problems. I'm on the one where it's the orbital problem, where there's a circular path around Venus, and so I'm working on that problem now. But before that, there were quite a few problems that dealt with, like the first problem was a tugboat, and we were given the equation of force, and that was similar to the problems from Chapter 11 where we had to integrate. But there were also some problems that dealt with like a tetherball game or a tractor, and we had to work those out using the tools that we've learned in this chapter. But that's pretty much it up to this point. So far I think Chapter 12 is going pretty well. It's the problems are fairly difficult, but I feel like I'm getting it down, and the more practice I do, the easier it's getting. So everything is going pretty well. Hopefully I can finish up the homework by tomorrow or the next day, and then spend some time reviewing some of the concepts that I felt were the most challenging. But that's all. Thank you.